Welcome to The Common Good, a podcast exploring leadership, citizenship, service, and the principles that strengthen our communities and our nation. I'm Eric Curry. In our first episode, we asked a simple question: what do we owe one another simply because we are Americans? That question set the stage for everything that follows. Today, we take the next step. If we're going to spend the next year discussing leadership, justice, education, public service, opportunity, and community, we first need to define the very idea that connects them all. What is the common good? The phrase is often used. Politicians invoke it, community leaders reference it, religious organizations encourage it, yet few people stop to define it. Without a shared understanding, the phrase becomes little more than a slogan. So today, let's define it. The common good is not the elimination of individuality. It is not forced agreement. It is not blind conformity. And it certainly is not asking people to abandon their deeply held convictions. Rather, the common good is the recognition that our individual flourishing is connected to the health of the communities and institutions we share. When our schools improve, we all benefit. When neighborhoods become safer, we all benefit. When justice is applied fairly, we all benefit. When families are strengthened, we all benefit. When trust grows between citizens and institutions, we all benefit. The common good is not about making everyone the same. It is about recognizing that our lives are interconnected. The founders understood this. The Constitution protects individual liberty, but it also establishes a government capable of promoting domestic tranquility, providing for the common defense, and securing the blessings of liberty, not merely for one generation, but for those who come after us. They were designed to reinforce one another. Freedom without responsibility eventually becomes selfishness. Responsibility without freedom becomes oppression. America requires both. Nearly 2 centuries ago, French political thinker Alexis de Tocqueville traveled across the United States to understand a remarkable question. Why was the American Republic succeeding when so many democracies struggled? He expected to find the answer in government. Instead, he found it in the people. You see, he observed Americans constantly forming volunteer associations, churches, charities, civic groups, schools, veterans associations, local committees, and neighborhood efforts. Rather than waiting for government to solve every problem, citizens came together to solve problems themselves. That spirit of voluntary service impressed him because it demonstrated something profound. A healthy democracy depends not only on good laws, but on good citizens. The common good has always required ordinary people willing to invest something larger than themselves. That idea that each generation has a responsibility to invest in the next brings me to something very close to my heart. I'd like to take a brief moment to tell you about the Liberty and Justice Scholarship. This episode of The Common Good is proudly supported by the Liberty and Justice Scholarship. I created this scholarship because I believe investing in our young people is one of the greatest contributions we can make to the future of our country. Beginning in 2027, the scholarship will recognize a deserving student who demonstrates character, leadership, academic potential, and a commitment to serving others. If you'd like to learn more, contribute, or follow the scholarship's progress, please visit ericcurryofficial.com. Together, we can help ensure that opportunity reaches the next generation. Now, let's return to today's question. What is the common good? One of the greatest temptations in modern life is to believe that if something doesn't affect us personally, it isn't our concern. But the common good asks us to think differently. It asks us to recognize that every thriving society depends upon people who are willing to care about more than themselves. The teacher preparing tomorrow's lesson contributes to the common good. The firefighter responding to an emergency contributes to the common good. The entrepreneur creating jobs contributes to the common good. The parent reading to a child before bedtime contributes to the common good. The volunteer serving at a food pantry contributes to the common good. Even the citizen who listens respectfully to someone with a different opinion contributes to the common good. None of these acts will make national headlines, yet together they sustain a nation. The common good is rarely built through extraordinary moments. More often, it is built through ordinary actions of faithfulness, integrity, and service repeated every single day. That's why I believe the future of America will never depend solely upon presidents, governors, members of Congress, or judges. It will depend upon its neighbors, teachers, parents, coaches, pastors, mentors, police officers, soldiers, healthcare professionals, business owners, and volunteers, and millions of citizens whose names history may never record, but whose contributions make history possible. Our political disagreements are real. They matter. But if disagreement causes us to forget that we share neighborhoods, schools, roads, and communities, and ultimately a common future, then we've misunderstood what citizenship requires. The common good doesn't ask us to think alike. It asks us to remember that despite our differences, we still belong to one another as fellow citizens. I'd like to leave you with this thought. The common good is built when ordinary people make extraordinary choices for one another. That choice doesn't always require public office. It may require kindness. It may require integrity, courage, a little bit of honesty, service, or simply showing up when someone needs you. Every generation inherits America. Every generation shapes America. And every generation decides what kind of nation it will leave behind. The question isn't whether we'll influence the future. The question is whether our influence will strengthen it. Thank you for joining me for episode 2 of The Common Good. If today's conversation encouraged you, I hope you'll subscribe, share this episode with someone you care about, and continue the conversation in your own home, workplace, classroom, or community. You can follow me on Instagram at Eric Curry Official. And you can learn more about the podcast, the Liberty and Justice Scholarship, and my ongoing work by visiting ericcurryofficial.com. Next week, we'll continue our journey with episode 3, America is More Than a Government. Until then, remember this: the common good is built when ordinary people make extraordinary choices for one another. I'm Eric Curry. Thank you for listening.